Hi guys, welcome to Football with Brownie. Hope you're well, keeping safe, keeping each other safe, and spreading the love during this pandemic, because we all need a little bit of living. We all need a little bit of living. Now, before I go any further, please like, share, most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Remember, subscription is free. If you haven't done it yet, hit that button right now. Okay. It's a good job I'm actually staying in a hotel tonight, because I am really fucking fuming with the board of Cardiff City. I'm absolutely fuming. And if I did kick off, I could well be bloody either arrested or thrown out of the hotel. So, okay, right. This video is not just about today's sale of Kieffer Moore. This video is about the complete financial incompetency from the so-called transfer committee at Cardiff City, which is of course headed up by Dalman and Choo. Now, people like to roll out the excuse, oh, they're not football people, Now, how long did it take you, ask this question, how long did it take you to know about football? As a kid, how long did it take you? Well, if you, 5 years maybe? Mehmet Dalman has been at Cardiff for 9 years. 9 years, okay? Now, surely, within 9 years, you would have thought that he would educate himself on the football industry so that he becomes a football man within the boardroom. But yet, he hasn't. Even after all this time, he hasn't. Now, one of the first mistakes of his reign was that, together with Tan, let's be honest, Tan was all over it as well, the recruitment of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who had no managerial experience, remember, and Dalman in a press interview said that he felt that he was the cat who got the cream. Well, we all know what happened of the appointment of Solskjaer, and well, the bad bloody transfers that come with it, throwing money away. Then, after Solskjaer, become other disastrous appointments with Russell Slade and Paul Trollope. We were actually in a relegation zone of the Championship when Warnock took over. Now, fair play to Warnock, he got the team promoted the following season. But the transfer committee made a massive mistake then, because they seemed to have another member within the committee, which was Neil Warnock himself. It was during Warnock's, in my opinion, time within that transfer committee that the spending of the parachute payments was pissed up against the wall, and it destroyed our chances in returning to the Premier League. While clubs like Norwich, West Brom, and others used common sense with their parachute payments, returned to the Premier League, and they had parachute. They got relegated. They used their brain. They used their brain. Unfortunately, the parachute payments we had wasn't spent wisely, and the recruitment of the likes of £6 million for that cart horse Aidan Flint, £4 million for Marlon Dingo, Marlon Pack, was just two examples of the outrageous spending. Many people blame Warnock for it. I don't. Well, I do a little bit by, Warnock would have advised the committee, but Dalman is the chairman or CEO. He is the guy who Tan appointed to run the club accordingly. It wouldn't. None of these transfers would have gone through if Dalman or Ken Choo refused to complete them. Every manager would want his own players in, but transfer committees or chairmen need to have a backbone and say, when you say no, I don't think he's worth that amount of money, you say no. So it destroyed our chances of returning quickly to the Premier League. We then had Neil Harris, who, let's be honest, was only the Millwall manager. Millwall, down the bloody relegation area of the Championship. Neil Harris wasn't qualified enough for the job. And then we get Mick McCarthy. I don't have to say any more about that appointment. You all know about my my feelings on McCarthy and that appointment right from day one. So all these managers have needed to be paid off by the club. Further financial incompetence by Mehmet Dalman, Ken Choo, and anyone else who wants to put their name against it. Then, fast forward, we have three big court cases. Now, whatever your opinion on the Emiliano Sala case, I am sure that I'm not buying the fact that there hasn't been an opportunity for both clubs to get some kind of settlement. I just think it's stubbornness from both clubs. I just think it's stubbornness that both clubs are trying to get out of it one way or another. And it's a person who's died we're talking about here. Shortly after Emiliano Sala's death, Dalman came out in the press and said that the club would help the family, and moving forward the club would help the family. Yet since the death of Emiliano Sala, his father has passed away and his sister has tried to commit suicide. So what exact help has the club given the family? During last summer, he attended a fan meeting and he told those fans, selective fans remember, well basically he tried to convince them that the club was losing £2 million a week. However, some of those fans were educated in finances, far more than what Dalman was. And they noticed that he failed to include advertising income in his calculations. Around the same time, I actually uploaded 2 videos really. I called him a liar. Mehmet Dalman went on a more friendly Cardiff City YouTube channel and claimed that he doesn't take a salary out of the club. However, Mehmet Dalman invoices the club for his work because technically he is a company director, so he gets paid on invoice rather than a salary as a normal employee of a company. Then on the final day of a transfer window in the summer, Kieffer Moore, after scoring 20 league goals the previous season, which, remember now, not one Cardiff player have done that for many, many years. Wolves on the final season come in with a bid of around about 7 million. However, that bid was in instalments. Many people say it was a 12 monthly instalment, and Dalman didn't like it. Now, what you guys need to know, most transfers these days come in some kind of instalment payment, right? Now, to get around that, many football clubs go to financial lenders or banks, and they borrow against guaranteed future instalments of transfer of players. So even if the club needed money there and then, there was a way to get money from that transfer. Although I do accept that the club would have to pay commission, so even if it was 15% commission, the club would have still had 5.9 million, right? Then a few weeks before the transfer window, Kieffer Moore was told not to report to training. He was told not to report to training, okay? Now, what came out in the press was that he had COVID. Not for the first time. He did actually have COVID around August, September time. But that was the one and only time he actually had COVID. Okay? The reason why he was told not to report to training is that the club were determined to sell him in this January transfer window, and they didn't want him injured, so he didn't play. The club didn't want him to play games or train simply because they didn't want to risk him get injured. So then the rumour that there was an agreed transfer to Kieffer Moore, that happened. The rumour started last week, and and there was outrage because the rumour was actually 3 million, and he was outraged within the fan base. All of a sudden then Cardiff, look, the directors and everyone within that club watch social media and fan reaction like a hawk, let's be honest, right? So once that rumour started, you knew what the fan reaction was going to be if that transfer went through. All of a sudden, the club are bringing players in left, right and centre on loan. I got no problem about that, right? I got no problem, we need players. Let's not get away from it. But the reality of why they done that was they wanted to soften the blow of the the fan reaction when the reality was Kieffer Moore was going to be sold for peanuts. Right, now I know, unfortunately, Wales Online are the lapdogs of Mehmet Dalman and the club. Right? They are trying to put it out there today that it's 5 million. It is not 5 million, it's 3.5 million and possible of a further 1.5 in add-ons. Although no one knows what the add-ons actually are. For all we know, for all anyone knows, you know, one of the add-ons could be if Bournemouth qualify for a Champions League. Okay? So it's 3.5 million. If anything else comes in, then, you know, all good. But remember, Wigan have a 20% sell-on clause. So it is not 3.5 million anyway. Now remember that figure I mentioned earlier on, even if we borrowed against the Wolves transfer, we still would have had around 5.9 million. You know, I don't know whether the Wigan 20% would come, well, it probably would come before any commission would any deal with any bank would. So probably a bit lower than that, but you're talking around about 5 million plus, right? That is far more than what 2.8 million. I don't get it. Further financial incompetence, right? Right. So then another rumour came out yesterday. Now the thing is, the Cardiff City Board leak rumours more than bloody. Well, the leaking from that boardroom is worse than. No, I'm not even going to try and joke about it because there's no joking matter. But many leaks come from that boardroom. Okay? Many rumours to put the feelers out whether or not it will go down well with the fan base or not. That is a fact of the matter here. Right? So yesterday, another rumour came out. Right? Saying that Kieffer Moore wants more money. Now, when you're paying his work colleagues, because it is work at the end of the day, when you're paying his work colleagues 2, 3, sometimes 4 times what he's been paid, and he's looking at them and he's thinking, hang on, I'm doing double or triple the amount of production for this team than you. Don't you think that, you know, he deserves a pay rise then? Don't you think that? Because no doubt, if we were in a place of work and we were looking over the bloody factory or the car showroom, wherever you work, and you see a guy who's doing less work than you, getting paid 2, 3, 4 times more than you, there's no doubt you'd be pissed off and you ask for the pay rise. So what's people's issue with that, with him asking that? If he did, by the way. Then, lo and behold, apparently, all accounts, Kieffer Moore started the transfer to Bournemouth because he actually put in a transfer request. Now, I get it that people are annoyed he put in a transfer request, but let's be completely honest here, right? When he signed, he was promised that Cardiff would build a team around him. That was 18 months ago. 18 months later, the team around him was built on quicksand. Because you had the loans of Harry Wilson and Ojo feeding him the balls, which was getting his goals. For the first half of the season, we've had no creativity in the middle of a park. And I'm sure we'd be pissed off if we were Kieffer Moore as well. I'm sure we'd be pissed off. The lad is 28, 29, going on 30 anyway. Right? And after that 20 goal a season effort last year, and for his performances with Wales, the guy deserves an opportunity to play at the highest level. And whether we like it or not, Cardiff can't give him that opportunity. I wish him all the very, very best. Which I find it very, very sad, I think, with some of the comments I've witnessed today on social media because of the transfer. I'm not going to mention the names. People know who they are. But the bottom line is, whether it is paying the wrong people more money than Kieffer Moore, refusing a bid which actually is double what bloody they've accepted today, and many, many historic financial mistakes by the transfer committee, by Mehmet Dalman and by Ken Choo, because let's be honest, they're spending other people's money, they're spending Vincent Tan's money. I have no bad feeling for Kieffer Moore, and I hope that he has an exciting new chapter of his football career. Now, before I just want to finish this, right? Many people believe every single word that comes out of Dalman's mouth, right? Now, it wasn't long ago that a former captain, who was also a fan's favourite, had his marching orders via a text message shortly after surviving cancer. That, my friends, is a reality of the individuals within the boardroom of Cardiff City. And I'm taking this opportunity to call on Vincent Tan, the owner, to finally kick him out of the club, as it is them and them alone who have pissed your money up against the wall for many, many years. And unfortunately, you're a fantastic businessman, but you blinded on this, Mr. Tan. You absolutely blinded. Okay. It was meant to be a rant. I'm glad I didn't rant because I made a few points. Guys, if you agree with me, chuck in the comments. If you disagree with me, chuck in the comments. Come on, Cardiff.